Alright. Let's start this shit, shall we? In our upcoming 3.16 expansion, we're making a number of balance changes. Oh, you don't say. Over the last 2 days, we talked about our plans for flasks and element mitigation and core character defenses and recovery. We strongly recommend reading those posts prior to this one. Today's post covers our plans for auras, curses, and elemental damage over time. We've assembled this article as a set of identified problems and our intended solutions. Below each solution is a spoiler tab with the specifics of what we're currently intending to change. The title part 3 of Pain Train. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, I didn't set title at all. Part 3 of Pain Train. Let's go. I only adjusted category. What a fucking amateur. What a fucking amateur. Yeah, blah blah. Same shit as last couple times. Support characters. Auras and other reservation effects. Problem: the reduced reservation stats provide very little benefit at low values, but become very powerful when heavily invested in. This allows players to run every aura in the game. It also forces reduced reservation to be balanced around extreme levels of investment, limiting how useful it can be to characters that do not run enormous numbers of reservation skills. Finally, characters that heavily invested in reduced reservation in order to run more skills on mana were also able to reserve life extremely effectively as well, with no further investment, rendering this the only sensible way to play most heavily reservation-focused builds. Solution: replace reservation reduction with reservation efficiency. When stacked, reservation efficiency does not allow for infinite auras. This can be given out much more liberally as a result, letting characters run additional reservation effects with only a couple of sources of reservation efficiency. The average character benefits, but the top end of extreme reservation has been made significantly weaker. I'm down for this. I'm absolutely down for this. If aura bots have to die for me to turn on 2 50% damage auras and a defensive one, then yeah. Fuck aura bots. Holy shit, I'm down for this. Let's look at the specifics. Oh, there's quite a bunch here. Holy fuck. Modifiers to reservation have been replaced with reservation efficiency. Reservation efficiency works by dividing the cost of the reservation effect. 100% increased reservation efficiency would halve the cost of all auras. 50% cuts down costs enough to let you reserve an additional 50%. What do you mean? Wait, what did I mean by 50% reservation efficiency cuts down costs enough to let you reserve an additional... Oh, like a third 50%. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. You think it sounds ass? How so? I think it sounds amazing. I mean, depends what numbers they're gonna give out this stat, obviously, but... Depends on how much we have to give up. I mean, from what we've read so far, I would assume non-aura bot or aura stacking characters don't have to give up anything. But let's see. Yeah, passives and item modifiers with reduced reservation have been replaced with increased mana reservation efficiency, generally at double the value of the previous reduced reservation value. Double the value, generally at double the value. Okay, now it sounds shit. Now it sounds kinda shit, yeah. So what there was like 35% reduced reservation on the tree previously. So now there's gonna be like 70% reservation efficiency. But you're not gonna grab all of that, because grabbing all of that is an aura bot thing. So you'll maybe get like 40-50% if you're lucky on your build. I mean, it depends what other sources of it they're giving us. Where were we? This means that a small amount of reservation investment is more impactful than before, while high investment doesn't allow as many auras to be used. The vast majority of reservation efficiency offered is now mana specific, in order to prevent reserving both life and mana being the default choice for a build heavily invested in reservation. Generic reservation efficiency and life reservation efficiency are still available on some item modifiers. Right side of tree is becoming too shit. They just bricked a ton of builds? What do you mean, with the aura changes? Or with the ones from yesterday? With the life reservation? Why do you mean? Like low life builds or what? Aren't they implying you can't reserve shit? You can still reserve shit with life, it's just most sources of reduced reservation now only apply to mana. But you can still like... I mean, you can still reserve an aura with the default cost on your life, and they're saying here they're adding other sources of life reservation efficiency. So you can still scale it some ways, probably not as good as you could before. Yeah, let's keep going. If not mentioned below, all sources that previously provided reduced reservation, including for specific skills or types of skills, now provide increased mana reservation efficiency at twice the value of the reduced reservation they used to give. Modifiers on existing items are affected by these changes. Welp. RIP all my standard boys. Hoo boy. Notable passive skills granted by cluster jewels that previously granted reduced reservation of a specific aura now grant 60% increased mana reservation efficiency of that skills for auras that have 50% base reservation, and 100% increased mana reservation efficiency for skills that have 35% base reservation. Alright. The Hierophant Sanctuary of Thought notable passive skill now provides 25% increased mana reservation efficiency instead of 10% less mana reservation. Huh, so they moved that from a multiplier to the same layer as everything else. Sounds ass. I mean, it's Hierophant. Who the hell plays Hierophant? Considering you need 100%. Why do you mean you need 100%? You need 100% if you want to turn on 4 50% auras. Yeah. I mean, you can probably get away with a bit less than 100%. Most builds don't even have 4 50% damage auras that are all good for them, right? Usually it's just 2 or 3. Helmet enchant seems to be 75%, so... yeah. I mean, we'll see how it all works out. I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, most builds that aren't aura stackers like completely ignored reduced reservation previously, right? So it shouldn't really have that much of an impact. Dodge removal, but we have spell suppression now. And evasion was buffed to compensate for the dodge, the attack dodge. Plus you can still have spell dodge. You can still have spell dodge if you want it. Evasion seems shit. What the fuck are you smoking, man? Evasion goes up to 95%. What's shit about that? Oh god, stop stun locking me, Myron. I need to keep reading it, or it's gonna be like 4 hours. Jesus Christ. You're going glad? Okay, you do that. You do that. Helmet enchantments that previously grant reduced reservation of a specific skill now grant the following values. Increased mana reservation efficiency for that skill. Existing items will instead have twice the previous reduced reservation value, generally lower than the new values. Enchantments for skills that have 50% base reservation are now 20/30% increased mana reservation efficiency for Merc and Eternal. Enchantments for skills with 35% are now 30/45%. And skills that have 25% or flat base reservation now grant 50 or 75%. The corrupted implicit modifier on tools that previously provided 1% reduced reservation now provides 2% increased reservation efficiency. Not specific to mana. That sounds pretty bad. Still a 5% chance of getting one. True that. I mean, 5% is low as hell. Like, I remember in the Gauntlet practice, I was watching. Who was it? What was I'm Exile? I think he was running Shaper, and he wanted to test if his build can tank a Shaper Slam. And he was trying for like 20 minutes, and it didn't fucking hit him once. That's how strong Evasion is. Skyforth now grant 12% increased reservation efficiency, not specific to mana. That was dodge though. Yeah, but Evasion is gonna be stronger to compensate for dodge not being there anymore, right? Imagine getting Resolute Technique. What enemy even has Resolute Technique? Except for like Xandro Blood Drinker. It's literally the one thing I can think of. Rares have it? Wait, really? Rares can have Resolute Technique? Interesting. High Rage Truth now grants Precision has 100% increased mana reservation efficiency. Instead of Precision has 50% less reservation. Yeah, that sounds like it would be the same. Replica High Rage Truth, same thing for Hatred. Essence Worm now grants 80% reduced reservation efficiency, not specific to mana, instead of 40% increased reservation. Memory Vault now grants 20% reduced reservation efficiency instead of 10% increased reservation. Unique items that previously granted a skill 100% reduced reservation now cause that skill to have no reservation. This change applies to existing items. Oh, this is actually huge. So now you can use those items with Essence Worm and Memory Vault, if you want to do that. That's big. Items that previously caused Socketed Gems to have reduced reservation have been balanced separately to other reservation efficiency effects. They still provide generic reservation efficiency rather than mana reservation efficiency, but generally have values lower than double the amount of reservation reduction that they used to provide. Existing items will be updated to the functionality and values stated below, but will still display the old values unless updated with a Divine Orb. Shaper and Hunter influence shield modifiers that previously granted 10/15% reduced reservation of Socketed Gems now grant 15/20% increased reservation efficiency of Socketed Gems. That sounds bad. That's actively bad, okay. So now we're getting into the really fuck aura bots a lot territory of the patch notes. Alright. The synthesized implicit modifier that previously granted 10% reduced reservation of Socketed Gems now grants 20% increased reservation efficiency of Socketed Gems. Pain Train. Yeah. Definitely Pain Train. Prism Guardian now grants 30% res efficiency instead of 25 reduced reservation. R.I.P. Prism Guardian. Holy fuck. Victario's Influence now have 45% reservation efficiency instead of 30 reduced reservation. Devouring Diadem, 25% increased efficiency instead of 20 reduced risk. Jesus Christ! What? I'm not on board with this one. This is not a support character nerf. What the fuck? Chi. This is what literally solo builds used. No, why? They keep doing this. They do this every damn time. I act like I'm surprised, but they do it every fucking time. With Insect now grants Soccer champs have 20% res efficiency instead of 10%. Yeah, that's same. Heretic's Veil, 20% increased res efficiency instead of 12% reduced res. Seems fine. Rot Blood's Promise now grants 80% res efficiency instead of 50% reduced res. Yeah. Okay, I will not be league starting as an Aura bot, so that one's for sure. No, Myron, I do not want to Aura bot you. I'm good. I'm very much good. I'll avoid this entire block of pain. I'll avoid it. Thank you very much. Are they shooting? Yes, they're shooting curse bots too. That's what's... See this shit? Yeah, it's happening. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's happening. Problem. Characters specialized in maximizing the power of auras provide an absolutely insane amount of damage and defense to party members, making a party with an aura specialized character so much more effective than one without. Solution: remove sources of aura effect from cluster jewels and move the aura cluster jewel type to small cluster jewels, so it is no longer possible to continuously stack aura effect for your party. Holy shit, man. Introduce a new cluster jewel notable to increase the effect of your auras on you for step up building auras for their own power. So aura stacker might be fine. Aura bot isn't. The aura cluster jewel type can now be found on small cluster jewels rather than medium cluster jewels. This makes it more costly and less impactful to stack large numbers of aura cluster jewels. The small passives now grant 6% increased reservation efficiency instead of increased aura effect. F. Big F. Cluster jewel notable passive skills have all had aura effect removed. Removed! They don't even bother lowering shit anymore. It's gone. You see that shit that used to... It's gone. It's fucking gone. Increased aura effect of auras on you from the purposeful Harbinger cluster jewel notable now only applies to your own aura's effect on you. The Master of Command cluster jewel notable passive skill now grants 10% increased effect of non-curse auras from your skills on enemies, previously 15%. They even had to nerf Death's Oath. They even had to nerf Death's Oath. Jeez, I mean, okay, to be fair, just medium clusters no longer having aura nodes is a heavy nerf to Death's Oath. But they specifically had to go above and beyond. Okay, fair. It was pretty busted. It did need a nerf, definitely. I mean, didn't you see on PoE Ninja, like last league, pretty much 30% of the league was just playing Death's Oath? And yeah, you obviously can't have that because they don't even have to press buttons, right? Where were we? Cluster jewel notable passive skills that grant reduced reservation to specific auras now grant high amounts of reservation efficiency to that aura as well. Yeah, we've We've seen that already. Why do I see Burning Arrow? You see Burning Arrow? You skipped ahead? Why are you spoiling me, Myron? Burning Arrow is getting buffed. It's fine. Just keep listening. It's gonna be buffed. It's fine. Add a cluster to notable passive skills that grant high amounts of reservation efficiency to specific auras as well as some other small bonus. For example, Cemetery, 60% res efficiency, 10% increased effect of consecrated ground. Okay. Jinxed Juju now grants 5 to 10% increased effect of your curses, previously 10 to 15. And 5 to 10 increased effect of your auras, previously 10 to 15. Okay. Support characters, curses, problem. Characters specialized in maximizing the number and power of curses provide far too much damage and defense for party members, making a party with curse specialized characters so much more effective than one without. Solution, make curse cluster jewels a small cluster jewel. Oh god. I mean, good thing they already murdered Self-Curse a couple leagues ago. Or this would do that. Good thing it's already happened, so we don't have to mold about it right now. Many of the notables reworked to benefit specific curses significantly, greatly improving a regular character wanting to maximize their curse of choice. Make significant changes to Doedri's skin as it applies many curses at almost no cost. Yeah, buddy, I miss Self-Curse too. Holy shit. I miss Self-Curse so much. I've been thinking about making a replica Headhunter Self-Curse. That's how much I miss Self-Curse. And now that's gonna be dead too, thanks to fucking Curse Cluster. GGG, why do you do this to me? Also, the worst part about this isn't even that curse bots are dying. For me specifically, it's like the medium curse cluster with the node that gave you, whatchamacallit, Unnerve, 20% increased spell damage taken, and Culling Strike. You could get those two things from a curse cluster jewel for 3 passives. Unnerve and Culling Strike. That was like my favorite damage cluster jewel to use on basically every build, and now it's gone. I'm guessing, yeah, holy shit. The nodes that I was using are gone entirely. Like, I couldn't even still use them on a small cluster jewel. They're entirely gone. Just get 12x gloves. I mean, I guess, yeah. Those would work. Curse cluster jewels on small rather than medium. This makes it more costly. Blah. Make these jewels more useful for characters using only 1 or 2 characters. We've greatly improved the cluster jewel notables, greatly granting benefits to specific curses as well as adding new ones. However, they can no longer be found on cluster jewels other than curse type ones. Evil Eye, Whispers of Death and Dark Discourse cluster have been reworked as new curse-themed notable passives. Big F. Big F. In general, curse effect that applies to all curses no longer exists on cluster jewel notable passives. Lord of Drought, Blizzard Caller, Tempt the Storm, Misery Everlasting and Exploit Weakness all now grant 40% increased curse effect of specific curses, previously 25. Okay, so those have been buffed at least. Forbidden Words no longer grants 5% increased effect of your curses, it now grants 20% increased reservation efficiency of curse aura skills, previously 4% reduced res. Added new curse cluster jewel notable passives that benefit Doom, Marks and Hexes that previously didn't have their own notables, such as Punishment, Elemental Weakness, Temporal Chains and Enfeeble. For example, 20% chance for Hexes to be applied at maximum Doom, and Hexes have 50% increased Doom gain rate. Doedri's skin now grants Hexes from supported skills can apply 5 additional curses. Huh? Oh god, the Doedri's Effigy skill now has a short cast time. That's what kills the build. Yeah. Oh, right. I just needed to read the parentheses. So, if you just use the chest, you can still apply 6 curses with it. But people were using Replica Doedri's Damning, which makes you apply 1 less maximum curse. Because it scales a shit ton of curse effect. So yeah, now if you do that, you can only apply 4 curses. Honestly, that might still be worth rolling a support char for that. Unless there's gonna be some other shit down here that we haven't seen yet. Alright, the cast time makes it really suck ass, but it would still work. Now has a mana cost. Existing items will be affected by this curse limit change, though they will only have 20% less curse effect and curses triggered with Summon Doedri's Effigy. Oh, instead... This is really weird. Like, they're adding a global less curse effect modifier, and existing items will have that apply only locally? I don't get it. How does that even happen? Some other uniques have been rebalanced. Replica Doedri's Damning now grants 15 to 25% increased effect of curses, previously 25 to 35. Existing versions can be updated. Cool. Wheel of the Storm Sail now grants curse skills have 100% increased skill effect duration, previously 25%. That's a big buff. Jinx Choo-Choo Amulet now, yeah, we already saw that in the aura changes. Okay. Myron, you ready for this? Burning Arrow's been buffed, right? Problem, the elemental damage over time effects and cold damage over time, burning and ignite are too dependent on elemental overload and elemental equilibrium. Ignites are too dependent on ignite damage multipliers on skills, making skills without ignite multipliers too weak to use ignite with. Yeah, that is kind of a problem, yes. Solution, greatly improve the base strength of ignite, burning and cold damage over time while making elemental overload and elemental equilibrium less powerful, or require more investment with damage over time skills. Rebalance skills that could apply ignite effects around the new base damage of ignite and remove the ignite damage multipliers. They're removing ignite damage multipliers from all skills, huh? So they better buff the shit out of it, right? Inherently deals 150% more damage than before. That does sound like a strong buff. That kinda sounds like a strong buff. Like, this league they did poison, now deals 50% more damage, right? And poison was actually pretty hype this patch. How though multiplier is way better? I mean, a lot of the skills that allowed you to get a really high ignite multiplier had some really clunky skill mechanic to go along with it. Like my Ignite Divine Ire build that I played in... What was that? I don't even remember what league. But it was Ignite Divine Ire, and it was fucking clunky as fuck because it was Divine Ire. But it got like 1000% more damage with Ignite when I fully stacked it. That's like the trade-off, in my opinion, right? Cold damage over time skills now deal more damage. Creeping Frost now deals 18.4 base cold damage per second at gem level 1 from 16.7 up to 2.2k, up from 1.3k. That's a huge buff. Holy shit. Wintertide Brand basically same magnitudes, like basically the same thing at level 1, and then like 50 to 60% more damage at level 20. Same for Cold Snap. Big buff. Same for Val Cold Snap. Big buff. Same for Vortex. 2.3k from 1.45k. Jesus! Siphoning... Siphoning trap! Why would they even add that in there? Oh god, no. No, they added cold snap damage over time numbers. Okay. Time to roll a trapper. Get help. Burning skills now deal more damage. Searing Bond now deals... blah. Yeah, I'm guessing same magnitudes of numbers as with the cold skills. Basically no change at level 1, 50% more damage at level 20. Same for Scorching Ray. Same for RF. Oh. It now deals 35% of life and energy shield as base fire damage per second. Previously 20. You remember when RF didn't have a flat base damage? It used to be 40%. Just 40% of your life and energy shield as base damage. Now it's almost back up to that, and it has more flat damage than it had before. Righteous Fire looks fucking cracked. I mean, I'm not gonna play because it's Righteous Fire, but it looks strong. Looks really strong. No, what do you mean it doesn't? It looks strong, shut up. Fire Trap, yeah, 50% buff. Flame Wall, heck yeah, 50% buff. Infernal Legion, hell yeah, 50% buff. 50% buffs all around. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Many skills that had an ignite multiplier have had that multiplier removed. The skill has been balanced to compensate for this, if necessary. Certain skills have been rebalanced due to the change to base ignite damage, taking into account whether they're able to take full advantage of elemental overload now. Note that examples below do not include the effect of elemental overload or elemental equilibrium, hence why the ignite value is much higher for many of the skills. Oh, they're increasing ignite chances on it. Okay. No longer more damage with ignite. Okay, Myron wants to know about Burning Arrow. Burning Arrow is its completely separate thing. I'm not doing that right now. Stop fucking trying to get me to skip forward. Though to be fair, I don't know if we want to read all this. Because it's basically just every skill that used to have more damage with Ignite no longer has more damage with Ignite. And then they're doing some math and telling us how it's gonna be fine because Ignite deals more base damage. That's literally... Fireball used to have 50 to 88 more damage with Ignite. It no longer does. Now has more Ignite chance. It will be fine because Ignite damage is higher. Discharge used to have... Wait, Discharge... Huh? Okay. This charge now deals 55% less damage with ailments, previously 30%. Because of basic night damage changes, it'll be fine. Yeah, I really don't need to read through all of those, do I? The Elemental Overload Keystone passive skill now gives more hit and ailment elemental damage to skills if they crit in the last 8 seconds. Oh, if they... Oh god, Elemental Overload is dead. It's completely dead. You can't use a second rapidly hitting skill anymore. That's not even the bad part. Like, I don't care that my second skill hits more rapidly. I care that I can fucking link increase critical strikes on it. So it actually crits, so it gives me my elemental. Oh no. Yeah, it's gone now. It's fucking gone. Yep, it's gone. The Elemental Equilibrium Keystone passive skill now applies 25% exposure of the elements not hit with, removing exposure of the elements you hit with. It's now an easy way to apply a strong exposure effect rather than a huge damage boost, though we balanced elemental damage over time around. Some other skills have been reviewed because of these changes. So, LA Equilibrium no longer gives enemies positive resists. Am I getting this right? It gives minus 25 to the ones that you didn't hit with and 0 to the ones that you did hit with. That's how I'm reading this. We will be looking at pure elemental minions to determine what changes are needed here. Okay. Move the Elemental Equilibrium Keystone passive to the ranges section of the passive skill tree, where there is much less existing access to exposure for elemental builds and access to skills that rotate elements, such as Wild Strike. Problem, fun. Solution, remove sources of fun. True! Fucking true. Oh, no. More scaling options have been added to damage over time builds on the passive skill tree and items, raising the top end of damage over time for well-geared characters. There are now 5 tiers of global damage over time multipliers, suffix modifiers that roll on all weapons, going up to 26% on one-handed and 45% on two-handed. 5 tiers of global damage over time multiplier suffix that rolls on amulets as part of their base modifier. Base modifier pool. No more hunter influence, Pog. Going up to 26%? That's pretty big. Influence modifiers on rings that had a chance to ignite, freeze, shock as well as some flat damage have been changed. They no longer provide a chance to apply the ailment, but provide a lot more added damage instead. Fire damage, okay. Cold version, okay. Lightning version, okay. No, why couldn't it be existing versions will be affected by this? My harvest ring. Oh, my fucking god ring from Harvest League. What benefits so greatly from this change? Essence of Delirium no longer rolls hexes you inflict have +5 to maximum doom on rings, or +10% to damage over time multiply on amulets. Instead it now rolls +12 to 15% to damage over time multiply on rings, and hexes you inflict have +10 to maximum doom on amulets. They flipped it? They flipped it, Pog? They flipped it, Pog. Just hit it with a divine? Yeah, that thing would need like fucking 100 divines. That was like in Harvest League when we had the type-specific modifier divines, when you could divine each individual modifier to perfection. Yeah, I'm not redivining that shit. They are nerfing Emberwake? Emberwake added a bit too much damage and crowded out any other options you could use with an Ignite build. And the downside has gotten weaker over time due to us adding more sources of faster Ignite damage. I mean, that's true. It no longer has ignited enemies burn slower, it now has 40% less burning damage. Oof. Big oof, boys. I guess we'll just be using Replica Emberwake now. They're not saying anything about that. Yeah, I always did. Because it's more faster, more better, right? Who cares about big number? I want big number go brr fast. That's how we do it. Problem. Burning Arrow is too complex for a level 1 skill. It's too complex, Myron. It's not that it needs nerfing, it's just too complex, right? They had to tone down the amount of complexity in the skill. It's not meant as a nerf. You got it? It's not meant as a nerf. If it is that, it wasn't meant that. Problem burning arrow, solution water gun. True. Redesign the skill without a secondary stacking burning effect, but with high added fire damage against ignited enemies. No longer has a stacking burning effect, now deals 150% base damage at gem level 1, up to 214 at level 20, previously 184. Now adds 3 to 4 fire damage to attacks against ignited enemies at gem level 1, up to 200 to 300 at level 20. Attack speed base of 90%, previously 100? Why? Why? Like, the rest could have been fine, but who wants to use a skill with 90% base attack speed? Yeah, that literally makes me want to TOS myself. Oh, no, 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 no. It was too strong, Myron. I'm sorry, it had to go, it was strong. It was fun, it needed to be removed. Problem. Ignite builds don't have a way to focus their damage on bosses, forcing balance to be the same for clear speed damage and boss damage. Change Flame Surge and introduce a new attack-based mechanic to be able to deal much more burning damage to a targeted enemy. Flame Surge is getting a new burning ground mechanic that deals damage based on ignites on the target. We're investigating a similar mechanic for attacks. Well, thanks for this fucking conclusive info dump right here. I know exactly what's happening with that shit now. Also, this was by far the shortest of the balance manifestos. We only took 49 minutes to go over all this. To be fair, I did skip from here to here, which is a lot of text. But it is shit text. It's fucking shit text nobody cares about and everyone can just infer what it's going to be anyway. Can we just only get part 1? I don't think that's happening, I'm afraid. Well, this guy is molding. RIP Aura stacking. Congrats on ruining another build archetype. How to kill another aspect of endgame and stomp a 10+ mirror build into history. Yeah, he's definitely not just salty because he's 10 mirrors poorer now. That's definitely not the motivation behind this post right here. No, 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 no. He's righteously upset with these changes. I played this build for 5 leagues now, improving it bit by bit every league. Almost about 15 to 20 mirrors of stuff soon to be obsolete. Oh boy. I'd need 588% increased reservation efficiency on my gear to run all my 16 auras, which is impossible. Oh no, it's impossible. Wait, is this guy literally unaware that other builds in the past have existed in one patch and then not existed in the very next patch? He's lacking critical information. What the like, how do you play an ARPG and not know that shit? He started playing in 3.13. He says he's played this build for 5 leagues. That would be more than 3.13. Curse bots aren't that compared to auras. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, yeah, it's nerfed. You're gonna be applying 2 less curses at probably 100% reduced curse effect, but it's still a lot of damage. He went so salty, support had to 1984 his post. Oh, dude. Oh no. Oh, dude. Oh, why? And he's getting hate mail. That's wonderful. Bones team and Chris being out of touch with their game. Or a stacker is a dumb build. Yeah, absolutely. This guy definitely isn't memeing. Well, this was pretty pog. This was pretty pog.